Good morning. It's 68 degrees Fahrenheit and sunny. Funding for this program is provided by additional funding provided by Justice Begins with a Simple Story. Imagine you are driving a trolley racing down a railway track at 60 miles per hour. Ahead of you, 5 workers are repairing the track. You desperately pull the brakes, but they don't work. You know that if the trolley continues forward, all 5 workers will die. Then you notice something that gives you a choice. A side track branches off to the right. Standing at the end of that track is a single worker. Your steering wheel still works. You can turn the trolley onto the side track, sacrificing one person to save the other 5. What is the right thing to do? Most people instinctively choose to turn the trolley. Their reasoning is simple. If one life can be sacrificed to save 5, then fewer people die, making it the better outcome. Others disagree. Some believe that deliberately choosing to kill one innocent person is morally wrong, no matter how many lives are saved. They argue that accepting this kind of reasoning could justify terrible acts committed in the name of the greater good. Now, imagine a different situation. This time, you are not the driver. You're standing safely on a bridge overlooking the tracks. Once again, the runaway trolley is speeding toward 5 workers. Standing beside you is a very large man leaning over the bridge. If you push him onto the tracks, his body will stop the trolley. He will die, but the 5 workers will survive. Would you push him? Surprisingly, most people say no. But why? The outcome is exactly the same. One person dies and 5 people live. If saving the greater number justified turning the trolley, why doesn't it justify pushing the man? Many people explain that pushing someone with your own hands feels fundamentally different. It is an intentional act of killing rather than redirecting an already existing danger. Others argue that this distinction doesn't really matter. In both situations, you actively choose who lives and who dies. Whether you pull a lever or push a person, you are still making a conscious decision that determines another person's fate. The debate becomes even more difficult. Suppose instead of pushing the man, you simply pull a lever that opens a trap door beneath him, causing him to fall onto the tracks. Does the fact that you never physically touch him make the action morally acceptable? For many people, it still feels wrong. Now, leave the railway behind and enter a hospital. You are an emergency room doctor. 6 patients arrive after a terrible accident. 5 have moderate injuries that can all be treated if you spend your day caring for them. 1 patient is critically injured and requires your full attention. You cannot save everyone. If you spend the day treating the critically injured patient, the other 5 will die. If you save the 5, the 1 critically injured patient will die. Most people decide to save the 5. Again, the reasoning is based on consequences. Saving 5 lives seems better than saving 1. But now imagine another medical scenario. You are a transplant surgeon. 5 patients desperately need organ transplants. 1 needs a heart, another needs a lung, another needs a kidney, another needs a liver. The last needs a pancreas. Without these organs, all 5 will die. There are no donors available. Then, a perfectly healthy man walks into your hospital for a routine medical checkup. He has no idea what's happening. You could quietly remove his organs, sacrificing him to save all 5 patients. Would you do it? Almost everyone says no. Even though 5 lives could be saved, killing an innocent person simply feels morally unacceptable. At this point, an important pattern begins to emerge. Some moral decisions are judged entirely by their consequences. Other decisions are judged by the nature of the action itself, regardless of the outcome. This introduces two major approaches to moral philosophy. The first is consequentialism. Consequentialism argues that the morality of an action depends entirely on its consequences. If an action creates the greatest overall good, then it is considered the right thing to do. The second is categorical morality. This view argues that certain actions are always right or always wrong, regardless of the consequences. Some moral duties and human rights should never be violated, even if so doing could produce a better outcome. These two ways of thinking have shaped philosophy for centuries. One of the most influential defenders of consequentialism was Jeremy Bentham, the 18th century English philosopher who developed the theory of utilitarianism. One of the greatest defenders of categorical morality was the German philosopher Immanuel Kant, who argued that people must always be treated as ends in themselves and never merely as tools to achieve someone else's goals. Throughout this journey, we will explore these competing ideas by reading the works of Aristotle, John Locke, Immanuel Kant, John Stuart Mill, and many other great thinkers. But philosophy is not just about old books. These ideas shape modern debates about equality, justice, freedom of speech, affirmative action, military service, marriage, law, and politics. They influence the decisions governments make and the choices ordinary people face every day. However, studying philosophy comes with a warning. Philosophy doesn't simply teach you new information. Instead, it challenges the assumptions you have always taken for granted. It takes familiar ideas and makes them strange. Once that happens, you can never completely return to seeing the world as you once did. Self-knowledge is like losing innocence. Once you truly understand certain questions, you cannot simply forget them. The story of philosophy is, ultimately, the story of your own beliefs. It forces you to examine what justice really means, what makes an action right or wrong, and what kind of person you want to become. There are political risks as well. Many people believe philosophy automatically makes someone a better citizen. History suggests otherwise. Sometimes philosophy first makes us less certain, more questioning, and more skeptical before it helps us reach deeper understanding. This criticism is not new. Thousands of years ago, Socrates was told to stop wasting time asking difficult questions. His critics urged him to abandon philosophy, enter practical life, seek success, wealth, and reputation instead. But Socrates believed that an unexamined life is not worth living. That is why philosophy continues to challenge every generation. Faced with difficult moral questions, many people retreat into skepticism. They say that nobody truly knows the answers. If the greatest philosophers in history couldn't solve these problems, how can we? Perhaps morality is simply a matter of personal opinion. But this escape is unsatisfying. Whether we realize it or not, we answer these moral questions every day through the choices we make. We cannot avoid morality simply by refusing to think about it. As Immanuel Kant observed, skepticism may provide a temporary resting place for reason, but it can never become its permanent home. Human reason naturally seeks answers. The goal of philosophy is not to provide easy solutions. Its purpose is to awaken the restless search for truth. And once that search begins, there is no telling where it will